What's up guys? Today I'm going to be changing my mass airflow sensor in my phase 1 2-litre twin spark. This might be a little bit more in depth than changing an airflow sensor normally, because I have unfortunately sheared the end of the stud off the top of the airbox, but I thought I would include it in the video anyway, me fixing that part to show you how to refurb the top of the airbox if this happens to you as well. And I'm also interested to see whether the Magneti Marelli equivalent to the Bosch, I think this is an original Bosch, we'll see if it's any different. So let's get to it. The thing I'm going to do is I actually want to get this section of hose out the way, so I'm going to undo this connector. So what you do is push that down, and now it comes out, and put that somewhere over here. Nice, stay there. And then what you want is some pliers, and I'm just gonna, I'm tempted to change these for some better clips, because these have been undone quite a few times now. I don't know how much longer they're gonna last. So once those are undone, there we go. I'm gonna, might need both hands for this. Anyway, so I'm just gonna pull those ends out, and I'm gonna take this bit of tube off. I've got that bit of hose out the way, and there you can see the MAF sensor. Now, what you can do, what I've done before, if you find that these 3 bolts are really corroded, what you can do, if you get, it's one of the Torx, I've got some Torx Allen keys, and if you undo this, you should be able to get an Allen key to those 2 screws, and you can very slowly back them out, and you can slide the MAF sensor outside of its housing. But since I'm replacing a Magneti Marelli into this, this is a Bosch, I'm not sure if that's going to work. I think this is a good opportunity to repair this as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo this. I'm probably going to take off this panel, and I'll get back to you once I've done that. So I've got that panel off, and now we can see how this works. So these 3 hold the top of the airbox on to hold the air filter in the box, and then this is the MAF and the MAF housing, and it's held onto the top of the airbox by 1, 2, 3 nuts. So that one's broken, that one should be okay because I've replaced that, and obviously I've replaced those 3 as well previously. So this one may or may not come off. It doesn't really matter since I've broke that one, but it might make my life a little bit easier. So I've got some penetrating fluid, so we'll have a go, and I'll go get it I think it's a 10mm, and we'll see. So it's the moment of truth. We'll see if it wants to come off. Doesn't feel like it does. Okay, it's turning, but it's turning in a way which feels like it's broken. Try it both ways. See if we can coax it out. Just trying to work that oil into the threads. Okay, that felt like it went really loose. Yeah, that's broken. Oh no! Knew that was gonna happen. So hopefully, if I take off that last one, which I know is good, we should get our MAF out. Exciting. So, broken. This one's okay. It looks like it's come loose at this end. Oh, it's all loose now. Okay. Got a deliciously crusty washer. So that bit's off. Oh yeah, there's another washer down there. Okay. 2 crusty washers. Crusty bit of bracket. Very nice. Will this come out now? Hello? Please? How do you... Oh, it turns. Is that how it's held in place? So we're inside now. I've got it off. That's what it looks like. That's going to be quite tricky to get those studs out of there. So I don't know how I'm going to do that. See if I can turn them out. But the way you get the MAF out of the top is really cool. You just give it a pull. So we've managed to get the studs out. The best way to, well, what it actually is there are actually bolts snuck down in there, and there is the head of a bolt, oops, you know, like that underneath the plastic. So probably the best thing to do is to drill a very big hole, get to the bolt head, and then see if you can push it backwards out through the bottom. That's probably the best thing to do. As you can see, we got the bottom of the bolt out of this one, but it's still in there. Probably going to leave it in there. Anyway, so what I'm probably going to do is I've got some new studs here. We're going to leave this one. That one's still okay. This one's going to go in, 2-part epoxy in. I'm going to get another one of these. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to thread it into the top, epoxy that in, and then chop off the nut, sorry, the head. So then I've got a stud, and I should have 3 good studs then. So I'll get back to you once I've done that. So I've got the MAF that is original to my car. This MAF probably, well, as far as I know it's original. This should be the original Bosch number. If so, it's probably got about 110,000 miles on it. I have cleaned this sensor, and it did make the symptoms that I was having. Well, what the car was doing, it was feeling a little bit flat. It definitely had a flat spot above 4,000 RPM. Low down torque, mid-range was okay. And when in the really hot weather, it just started to stall. And as soon as I cleaned this sensor, things got better. But obviously, as you saw earlier on in the video, I haven't been able to remove this whole thing because I've had one of the bolts was sheared in the top of the airbox. But now I've repaired it, I've managed to get this whole thing out. But what I want to show you is, so this is as it's come out my car. Look at this. That is gross. And I can't believe it is that dirty. Another thing I want to show you, just give me a sec. This is the section of intake tube that has, so it sits like this, so the MAF would be like this in the car. So it would be like this, and air would go up through, and then there's the temperature sensor. If you can just see it, can you see on the inside of that tube there, some staining? That is where dirt has been coming through the MAF sensor and hitting the top there before being sent this way. So, I mean, even if your car is driving well, you don't really seem to have any issues. Well, look how dirty things inside your air intake can be. So hopefully it's well worth. So I thought I'd compare these two. So here's the new part. I think that's the part number. Unfortunately, this is a phase 1 car. That's the Bosch number for a phase 1 2-litre twin spark. And if this matches OE specification, and this is what you get. Magneti Marelli. That's pretty good. So I've got the seal that goes around the MAF, and I just can't remember which way. I think it goes in like that. Yeah, it looks about right. I think that goes in like that, and then we get our MAF. let's pop that in there. You know what? Just get faff. I've managed to get the sensor into the housing. Do this outside of the car, because what I found with this Magneti Marelli, it was very hard to get this. There's a seal there, it all in. So I ended up putting washing up liquid on the outside of the seal and pushing it in. That's what it got it in. Sorry, that's not showing music. You can do it. And take off. Keep this out, I think. It's here. Okay, this is good. This is like that. No, the floor is fast. Lots of fun. Take them off. So we do this. It's not the sun. One. This one. Always must be really nice. Just this way. Ow. Lovely. Right. Come on. Yeah. All the way on. Not even in the right place. Do the thing. Okay, maybe that's why I won't do that. Didn't actually have it on where it's meant to be on. Okay, looks like it is now. Hello. Oh, no way. No way. I think that's on. Cool. Now, we shall see if it starts. Oh my god. Right. I'll leave you there. Anything that might fall into my engine bay out. And I'll go start the car. Feeling pretty nice on and off the throttle. Doesn't feel weird or oh, thank God we're off this crap surface. So I think that Magneti Marelli MAF sensor seems as good as the original Bosch, and I'll put the part number for the Magneti Marelli here if you want to try. I think it cost around £70. I got it from Autodoc, which is a gamble. You know, if you want your part to arrive in a reasonable amount of time, I wouldn't recommend it, but if you're not bothered about waiting, then that's alright. Yeah, it seems to pull alright. There's no flat spot above 4,000. The idle's nice. Low down torque feels good. I can definitely feel the car pick up around 3,000, 3,500. You know, as that variator solenoid kicks on. What I'd like to do is next, I should be getting hold of a cam cover for this car, so I can do a cam cover refurb. And I want to do a bit of an engine bay tidy up, and I'd like to go around and give this car brand new shock absorbers all round. So stay tuned and subscribe, because I will be posting some of that and more general improvement to this car. But I'll see you again.